No, I remember last year I was saving up money to buy this really nice camera, and I had like kind of thought that I was going to purchase it in like the spring, or like at least like the early, like the winter here, like February, March. And I had like a really like funny conversation with my dad where he was like, "No, honey, like you got to take advantage of this. Like you have the money now, purchase it now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because it's just something I guess like I just wasn't thinking about in that current headspace that I was in. Things from last year to now have changed. I'm definitely more educated on that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's something that like I definitely have came into face with being a beauty pro.
Yeah, or just a business owner as a whole, right? Like you're looking at next year, you're looking at how much money you're probably now you have likely a good guesstimate of like even with the holiday surge coming, like you're generally likely going to end up around this number, which means your tax exposure is going to be something, 30% of that or whatever it is. And if you haven't been paying quarterlies and you don't want to pay as much, like, well, then bring down your total profit, right? By buying things that you need for your business now.
Yeah.
Take advantage of some of the sales that are going to be happening, especially for equipment like cameras and that kind of stuff. If you have the cash in the bank, it can be a really great way to combat some of that. I mean, there's a reason why we do like our on-site for bow tie is in November, because I generally understand how much we can spend on that without getting in trouble, while also we can kind of gauge how big can we go for everybody to give them, a little something something, a little extravaganza, right? For us to
Yeah.
go and ball out on dinner, even though it's only half expensable. Hot tip, it's not fully expensable anymore. But that helps, right? It helps our tax exposure at the end of the year, and that's why we do it then and not, in February.
And it's fun too because it's like the holidays, gratitude, getting everybody together. Like I
Totally
think it's
agree.
just perfect to fall at that time.
And there's a lot of reasons for it, but it also works out from a P&L statement perspective.
Always thinking.
You got to, right? You got to play the game. You got
It
to play the
doesn't
whole game.
stop.
But as a service business, the more people that you have, the more time you have to spend servicing, right? The
Yeah.
whole point is you spend a ton of time with clients, you're going to make more money. And as your book becomes more and more full, as people are getting like their seasonal treatments, but then on top of that, holidays are coming up, so they want to look good for all the parties that they have and like all of that. How are you handling the influx? Is there anything that you do differently to prep for this time frame?
I think I typically also run a lot of like gratitude type specials. So that's something I also have to keep like in mind as well when anticipating new clients, but still servicing my current clients. I think to get ahead on everything, it's just that essentially getting ahead on everything. Your time is your most valuable asset. You can always make more money, but you can't get more time. So it's like making sure that every minute that I'm spending is something that's going towards the business. And especially with the holiday season coming and books filling up, anticipating new clients. I'm a big like first come, first serve, but you also don't want to lose a loyal client to take a new client. So I think
Mm-hmm.
just understanding my schedule a little bit better and being more lenient during the holiday season while also still giving myself time back.
Yeah, this is definitely the season where like scheduling posts out now while you're not fully booked all of the time is a great way to at least, even if it's okay, I'm going to schedule 10 posts and there's going to be at least one a week until the end of the year. So at least I have that covered. And then the next day you could do another set, right? So then you fill it in over time. I've seen a lot of people start to do that now, and then they fill in the rest during, like as they have new holiday clients or as they decorate, their space for the holidays and things like that. There are some evergreen pieces that can be scheduled out ahead of time so that at least you're doing a little bit less and spending a little bit less time on that kind of a thing, while also staying current. You really only have to put focus and effort into most relevant, most timely
Yeah,
pieces that you have to turn around very
exactly.
fast.
The trending stuff that's going to, stick.
Yeah. And like no one knows what that's going to be yet. It's going to change. It's going to go quickly. The best people that do the best work tend to be adaptive in the moment. And like if you don't have to build the whole week's worth of content on Monday and you just have to worry about like the two things that you saw, over the weekend that you want to do a trend on,
Yeah.
that's way easier and a much smaller, lighter lift. Now, I'm interested though on your what you said about your dedicated clients or your loyal clients and new clients. Do you see a greater influx in new clients in this season?
Because a big factor is clients who are loyal to me want to spread that enjoyment they get from the service to their friends and family around this time. It's big on referrals more than anything. I would say November, December, because it's like the gift giving. People want to, spread that experience that they had such a great time at. So I think that is definitely more during that time period. I would say a lot of loyal clients definitely come back during this time period as well. Let's say like I hadn't seen them for a couple months, or they usually schedule with like bigger time blocks in between. They might come a little bit more frequently during the holiday season because everybody wants to look good when they're seeing family and friends, and there's a lot more parties and outings and things they're going to, obviously. So I think they just want to feel their best. In order to feel their best, they want to look their best and everything like that, right? I will see them book more, a little bit more consistently between that 4 to 6 week period. And
Yep.
also being somebody that offers a wide variety of services. Some of them are a little bit more retention based, where like I need to see people more frequently. So with facials, it's typically 4 to 6 weeks, but with like lashes, I can see somebody a little bit sooner. With brows, that could be as a minimum to 2 weeks. You could even, I still have clients that sometimes see me every once a week if they have, hair that grows back a little bit faster. So like trying to plan out those, again, it's very like first come first serve, but still trying to maintain that I'm doing my part as a service provider to reach out to these people, to remind them to pre-book their appointments, and starting that from the minute they're in my chair or on my spa bed by saying like, before you leave here, let's get you ahead because there might not be a spot for you available due to all these new people and referrals and things like that.
That's really smart. And that's what I was getting at. Cause I know that there's been, having talked to a lot of folks across like the hair industry, but then also SDs as well, things book pretty quickly. And they're like, yeah, I didn't email this person in time. And now all the slots that they wanted are gone. And now I
Yep.
feel really bad. And now I'm booking myself out actually 3 hours later than I wanted to be because I wanted to make sure that they got in. And it's like, well, preempt all that stuff now, right?
Yes.
Get scheduled like, hey, it's coming. My books are filling up. I want to fit you in if you want to be in. Here's your text, right? Come see me. Let's figure it out. Here's what I have available.
Yeah.
Are you running any specials as we're getting into like the holiday discount?
Yeah. So I think, well, if we're looking at this past year, like, or at least last year, I was somebody that always ran like monthly specials,
Hmm.
and I would dedicate like, a week before the month to really think about what I wanted to push out. And I would come up with all these really fun, creative facials. And then I would notice that like they wouldn't be as booked as like my typical customized, or because people were just do what you think will work. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't know
Yeah.
if I need a mummy facial. I mean, I just want results, since I'm a
Yeah.
result driven esthetician rather than like a relaxing focused esthetician when it comes to my facials. So I think I kind of took a step back this year of doing like a bunch of like monthly treatments, and I'm really trying to give back during those months like we spoke about earlier, like the gratitude months, the gift giving months. So my approach to it this year was very much of giving back to my loyal clients, because I've been in business now for a little over 2 years. So I have a lot of clients that have been loyal to me and are very consistent in seeing me. So I basically just looked at what my most booked services were and decided to give a discount on those for November to show gratitude. It's not going to be something super huge and crazy. I'm still a business owner at the end of the day. I still want to make sure that I'm maintaining, the money, the bills. I pay a lot for rent and a lot of other obstacles that we talked about in the past, but I still want to be able to give back to my clients that are super loyal to me and show me a lot of love, and show them that I'm appreciative of them coming to see me. So that's how I went about it for November.
Hmm.
And I think too, this is a big like time saver. Everyone gets really excited around the holidays about like Halloween. And I mean, I say everybody, me being one. But most people get really excited about like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, who wouldn't, right? So I feel like when you're getting excited for the holiday season is when you should really start to think ahead about what specials you want to run, so that when it's not like something that's like in the moment that you have to think about. So I came up with that idea about last month for November. And started to sprinkle that in between my treatments. So, like, letting them know I am running a special on this machine in November. So, make sure you're pre booking your appointments, because since I'm also running this, that might, intrigue a new client as well. But it's really set there in place for you guys because I want to say thank you. And I know this is a great service that you guys love, something like that. And then for December, I'm introducing a new treatment, just to kind of balance, to see kind of, going into the new year. I want to set like new goals, new initiatives, see what really works well. So I am still kind of dipping back into my old hat of like kind of coming up with something fun. I needed it for my creative. I just thought it'd be
Yeah.
funny. So I'm coming up with a new facial for December to see how people like that. And then I'm doing a batch gift card discount. So I did this last year and it was really well, where it worked really well. Where I do, if you spend like $100 on a service gift card, you yourself get $20 for your next service as well. So it's giving
Nice.
back to the person that's giving it to somebody, and they also get to give back to themselves at the same time.
Have you given any so I love the gift card idea. I think is super smart, right?
Yeah.
Obviously you want to reward the people that are going to gift other people, like they're gifting you a client, right? And they're likely going to spend more than that
Yeah.
gift card's value. Have you thought about beyond discounting, like adding things to your, like a free this treatment or that treatment or something that you're testing out, or like an add on to a treatment that you typically don't, that this person maybe doesn't typically select, to
Yeah.
kind of give them a little bit of a, instead of, giving you a discount, everything's going to be the same, but I'm actually going to add on these things for you because it's the season of giving, and I want to give you a little bit more. And then it kind of hooks them on like, oh, well, when I got that, actually I felt way better, or I
Yeah.
looked way better than I expected, or like, I knew that this was a thing, but I've never tried it because it was too expensive, or like it didn't seem necessary. And now they're hooked, right? Have you
Yes.
played any of those promos out in the
Yeah.
past?
I refer to them as modalities. So they're just basic extras into the facials. So one of my favorite modalities is actually LED light therapy. And it comes included in the diamond hydrofacial when you get that with me, right? So when adding in those modalities, so especially something that's going to add a lot more time on it, it has to be a little bit premeditated. So yes, I
Yep.
will incorporate it into a special, just so that the client knows what they're getting themselves into. And I also can make sure my schedule aligns. Can't really do it as much in the moment.
Right.
So I think with how I played with this before is when I first bought, I just purchased. When did I buy that? Sometime in the summer. I want to say July. I made an investment to get this light called the Celluma light therapy. So what I had done in the summer when I had purchased that is I gave the gold hydrofacial, which didn't include LED light therapy, for free for that month, just so clients could experience what the LED light therapy was like at no additional cost. And if they really liked it, then maybe they'd want to upgrade to the diamond in the future. But I love kind of planting those seeds with like little specials.
The Beyond the Suite podcast is presented by the Salon Hub and the Salon Hub's Salon Marketing 101 course. The Salon Hub Marketing 101 course is designed to teach you the building blocks of marketing that you can apply to your salon business so you can get more clients in your chair in less time. So if you haven't taken a marketing class before, this is a great place to start. To join, all you have to do is go to learning.thesalonhub.social to get started today.
Do you do that with like products as well?
Oh, I'm a big sample person. I'm a big sample person. I keep at least like 3 different products on samples at all times. I typically try to do stuff everybody can use. Now, again, that's broad because everyone has different allergens and everything like that. But I think for the most part, I typically try to sample more so very gentle cleansers or oil based cleansers. I'll try to sample like moisturizers or very like serums that are still corrective but not like too crazy to introduce into a routine at home. I typically try to do the more, I think, products that are more universal that I think you would want in your routine because you could use it every day. And then if I will usually keep like a small batch of like something that is like, a higher acid, if it's, if a client, I'm building them up to that routine at home, then I can give them a sample of it to see how they use it at home.
So you do a kind of a combination then. It would seem like some sample giveaways, discounts, gift cards, like
Yeah, the samples I'll just give them when they leave, like on their way out. I'll be like, even if they don't pre, like, especially if I use it on them in the treatment and they like,
yeah.
they mentioned, I love the smell of that, or what was that second product you used? It's always like perfect if it's the one that I have a sample of. But even if not, I usually will just explain to them what the product is, why I think it'd be great for them, and then I just say, you can put it in your purse.
Where do you find the time to do all this?
Earlier in the, like I said, like earlier in October, when you have that like excitement for the holidays is typically when all these ideas come. But time management is like the biggest thing as a beauty pro because it's like
Right.
you got to find the pockets of time and you got to block off time for yourself in certain weeks with understanding that's taking time away from a client, but you are getting things done during that time, and setting certain days of the week to get these things done has been like the biggest game changer for me.
Do you time box things then for yourself to be like, okay, I have an hour every Wednesday to get this stuff done? Like I dedicate that. Is it like
Yeah.
structured this way, or is it, okay, here's my list. I know that I'm not serving somebody during this block, and this block, and I need to get these things done. Like, how formal do you end up making that piece? Or is it, I don't have anybody right now, so I'm just going to relax and then I'll get the stuff done later tonight?
So definitely not the second one. The first one for sure. What has changed for me is going from that second one you said that was originally my mindset to where I am now, which is very strategic in how I use my time. And I think becoming very strategic and kind of placing where I need to get things done on the times I know I'll be available has been very helpful for me. So typically, like, every beauty pro is going to work like different days of the week. My current spread is definitely different because I do dedicate some of my time to the Salon Hub as well. Typically, how I set up my days is I don't typically like to get a lot of things done for the business that isn't servicing on days I'm in the spa. So like if I'm servicing Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not like waiting to get stuff done until that day when I'm in the spa, because that for me is like my zen time to provide the best service possible. If I have a break in
Yeah.
that day, I'm going to meditate and like get in the right mindset for my next client or film content. I don't limit myself to filming content on those days as well. I try to pre-plan that to make sure I'm in the right mindset. And then on the days that I'm home, I try to batch similar tasks on certain days. I think too, it can be really overwhelming when you're doing a lot of things at once. Like I think too, like if you're somebody that's so active on Instagram, you have people DMing you all the time and you're telling people to come message you in the DMs, you have to be on top of your DMs.
Yeah,
Like
you have to be in the
you
DMs
got
then.
to be in them. Like catch me there. But I'm big on like setting a boundary of like, if you have questions, like I write like, please text me or call me, because those are going to be the first things I check so that I'm not consistently like head in the DMs, because I think it's a constant thing to be like, I'm losing a client because I didn't answer their DM in 3 hours. You know what I mean? But it's like, you have to give yourself grace. Your hands were just in motion for literally 3 hours providing a service for a client.
Yeah.
You need to kind of take a step back. But I can give you like a breakdown of like kind of like what my days look like if that's what you're interested.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in that. I think it's also just time allocation, right? And how do you make the most out of the limited amount of time that you have? I think that's really the big output here, because Wednesday through Sunday, your Monday, Tuesday, you're working with the Salon Hub a lot,
Yeah,
right? So like it's not like your days off are fully off, right? By any means. So to me,
unfortunately.
that just like that screams burnout.
Yeah, I know.
But also at the same time, every time you show up for the Salon Hub stuff, you have a ton of energy. I guess the simple question is, what's the cheat code? Is it just a lot of
I
caffeine
Why did
or
I think you're
what?
about to say, I think my question is, what is wrong with you?
No. I would never ask you that directly. You got a lot of energy and I'm here for it, but
Yeah,
I would love to figure that out for myself. And I'm sure a bunch of other people would too.
for sure. So let's just start with Thursday. Thursday is my off day. Thursday is my reset day. So Thursday is my only off day, but I'll explain kind of how I do my split and why I'm still mentally able to show up for things like the Salon Hub and be super energetic and excited and fun. Now, that's just my personality as well, but it
True.
also, burnout is so real. I think before I set my days up the way I did, I was experiencing a lot of burnout. It's not that I ever didn't love my business, but I definitely was like kind of thinking like, am I going to be doing this forever, because of how poorly I was basically self-sabotaging because I wasn't giving myself the time to do what I do best, which is I was feeling a lack of being creative, because the time I was allotting for myself to be creative was after a full work day and then I'm like, I'm just not thinking of anything right anymore. And it's like, that's so normal as a beauty pro, as a business owner, as a human, to go through these periods where you are kind of somewhat self-sabotaging, and it's not fun. But I think once you kind of get yourself in the mindset of like, okay, these are the days that I work the best, this is my schedule, time management can really change everything. So I think for me, Thursdays is a big day for hobbies and splitting things up personally. So like making sure that I'm staying ahead on like, normal human stuff, dishes, laundry, being a dog mom. I'm grateful I'm not a human mom, because I don't know, this can be completely different of a list. And making sure that I spend time for family on Thursday as well. And my favorite thing to do is to read. So making sure I spend time reading is a
Hmm.
big thing for me on Thursday. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. When I am planning for content creation only, I typically will try to choose like one day of the week that I can film content, so that way I can look my best and feel my best. I made like a funny meme for the Salon Hub where it's like how I show up to
Yeah.
appointments even though I work in the beauty industry. It's
Yeah.
it's
I love that one.
it's hard. Like I feel
It
like
is.
too, it's like there's such a expectation for like my skin to be gorgeous all the time, for my makeup to be laid, for my hair to look great, like cuz you work in the beauty industry, but it's like we are also like waking up sometimes late, sometimes we're, you know what I mean? We're not always on top. So I think allotting myself time, like extra time to sleep throughout the week, or that stuff's really important to me. So typically Fridays are a big content day for me because I know my Fridays aren't fully booked up. So typically I always set my Friday up to come a little bit more presentable to the spa, just so I know if I'm going to film content that day and batch anything, Friday's a big content day for me.
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays are all about providing the best service I can possible for the client and charting right when I get home. That's it. I do not push myself on those days. Those are very solid back-to-back client days. I make sure I block time to eat, and I make sure I block time at the end of my shift or day to chart my clients. So upload all the photos I took of their skin, circle things, write down notes, or we're at Sundays. Sundays is a half day. So typically I'll do
Okay.
like mainly like the clients, and then I'll do some of the charting and research, everything like that. When it comes to Mondays and Tuesdays, these are my admin days. My biggest piece of advice is set admin days. You're a business owner. You need days to go over your admin stuff and like make sure
Yeah.
you're hitting all your marks. So I would say like Monday would be admin and planning. Typically I do invoices, emails, anything from like reorder, like order shipments, and tracking kind of like the business mindset of stuff. Like I'm always on Amazon, making sure I'm doing like that subscribe and save, things are coming in, doing schedule checks, making sure when I have open gaps in my week to do other things if possible. Tuesdays are a big task day for me. So I do a lot of product recommendations that day. So I'll do a lot of like emailing the clients, letting them know from their charting that I had done on Sunday, this is what I'm seeing. Try to get as much emails out as possible and keep them informed on like upcoming treatments that they have. It's a big like client communication day on Tuesday. And also a lot of like editing content and answering DMs. Wednesday, back in the spa. Usually it's a really busy day. Wednesdays for some reason are popping. Wednesdays are popping. And then again, all I request of myself is to come home, chart, and that's it. But I would say like a grand summary of everything is to not overload yourself on the days that you are having your clients, because you want to make sure you're providing the best service possible, and don't go in with the mindset of, okay, Friday's a half day, I can get done the product recommendations that day. Because you never know what's gonna, you know what I mean? Like keep
Yeah.
your days very, very set so you can keep that mental. If you have an off day on Friday, come home and then enjoy your night. And then maybe you'll have some creative flowing because you weren't working as much. Don't limit to yourself at the same time to like not, if you have like a spike of creativity on a Friday, like don't limit yourself, but at the same time, like give yourself that time back. I'm big on like blocking lunches, blocking time, extra time to flip, because you don't want to make your clients wait. It's a lot.
The biggest thing that I heard is that not every day is the same. Your main client service days, your busy days look similar, but they're also very defined,
Mhm.
in that you will not do other things. There is no pressure to do more than what is asked of you on those days, unless there is ample opportunity, right?
Yeah.
In which case, similar to what you mentioned about your Fridays, right? Like come in prepped for what you have going on. Like come in prepped to take photos of yourself or videos of yourself if that's going to be a thing. Like thankfully for you, I think you're scheduled enough and you have enough of a routine where you can build up enough creativity and ideas during the week, and then Fridays just end up being like, okay, here's what I saw and this is what I'm going to try to create. And you would keep a list. I think what a lot of people end up doing is just hoping that they're going to find a wave, and they never give themselves space to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Like relax and you will find waves of creativity.
I don't try to like stress myself out to be creative like every day. When I'm looking at my schedule, I know content creation is a big part of it. I'm also somebody in my personal life that doesn't really post all the time. Like I feel like I forget my
Mm,
personal Instagram exists. So it's
same.
like, wait, what? Like I work in marketing and I also post on my business account. Like it's, I was about to say like it's my job, because it is my job. But then when it comes to my personal stuff, it's like, no, I'm the mysterious person until you go to my business account. You
Uh,
won't know a single thing about me until you go to my business account. But I would say like my biggest thing, like kind of to summarize it all out, is like for me, having 2 days a week to do admin days has been huge. Now, everybody's different. You might want to service 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Servicing might be your favorite part of it. It's not that it's not mine. It's just if I make myself do admin work on the same day I'm doing in-service work, I don't think my services are as good.
you're code switching a lot, essentially, is what you're doing, right? And it's harder to get into flow when you're code switching all the time.
Yeah, I'm big on like if you have a break, like I'm not everybody's into meditating. I'm really big on it for facials. I do not want to give, because again, you know what? That's a great piece. The stress piece. If I'm stressed and I didn't get done the admin stuff I need to get done, but I know I need to give this client an email by Saturday or else I'm going to lose them, and I didn't set up that time period, then I'm stressed thinking about that when I'm in the spa. And then I'm about to give somebody my energy. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm big on like taking those little gaps and instead of trying to overwork myself. And I'll do little things like, open the drawers, take a little inventory while I'm there. It's not like a necessity, but if I have that little gap of time, sure, let me save myself the Monday and then maybe I can read in that 15 minutes that I would have done inventory on Monday. I can help my future self out, but it's not mandatory for me to get those tasks done on those days. My thing what I hold myself to an example of on that day is to make sure I'm in a good mindset for my clients, and that if there's anything I'm doing in that free time, it's all for the clients. It's charting, writing things down, taking notes for them so that I can set myself up for their next appointment.
I mean, again, you're building yourself into success.
Beyond the Sweep podcast is brought to you by the Salon Hub and their new web design service offering. If you are still using your booking software as your primary website, it might be time to switch it up. While booking services are great at keeping your appointments streamlined, they don't allow you to truly show off your brand in a unique way. We here at the Salon Hub are trying to change all that. We are now offering customized 3-page websites to help you make sure that your digital home is on brand and effective. We can integrate with any booking system you have, so you don't have to change your internal processes, and we make sure that your website reflects the vision and work you put into your salon brand. Plus, we are making these websites affordable. To get more information, please visit us at thesalonhub.social and we'll get you started.
I'm wondering what happens though, like for the seasons like we're about to hit and things end up getting a little bit more crowded. How does that affect this pattern and like rotational schedule that you've kind of built for yourself?
This that I set up for myself is a beautiful outline. Is she always followed to the most perfect T? No, unfortunately. Do I try my
Yeah.
best? Yes. Do most of the time is it? Yes. So yeah, things will dip. And I think for me, it's just writing that pros and cons and that priority list of like, what things am I going to allow myself to let go of this week? But that's fine, because if I have more time next week, I'll add it on. If not, then, well, she's gone. She just flew away.
I like that you say that it's gone and it flies away when you can't get to it, especially if it's not mission critical, versus it's a weight around your neck until you get it off.
I can't work like that, or else my like cortisol will go through the roof.
I worked like that for a long time, right? And I was walking around just feeling very heavy. And some stuff I'm like, okay, it will be nice to get to. It will always be on the list somewhere and we will get to it eventually if it does mean something. But what I'm impressed by and or like what I don't hear a lot of people say is like, yeah, I just didn't get to it and that's fine.
I try not to set, it's so hard because it's like I don't want to contradict myself because I set really good goals, but I try not to set like crazy expectations for myself because I need to have the balance. Like one thing for me that's on my list, that's been on my list, is to rework business cards for up north to get ahead of it. So that when it's time for me to go up north, I have these really nice business cards that are for down here that are just updated. I just want to update my business card. The current one I have, she's beautiful. She's fine. She's gorgeous. Is she what I want to still hand out? No, I want to elevate. I want to get to that next level. But it's something that's been on my to-do list for so long that it's like, Brooke, just sit down and make the new business card. But again, like it's not like when I say it flies away, it's just flying away to find my brain next month, and then it'll land there. And then it'll if I have the time, I'll get it done.
Care about what actually matters, right?
It
The
still
nice to
matters.
have. It does. But it's not like you are out of cards. It's not like
No.
you're like suffering because of it,
Yeah.
right?
That's like a bigger goal. That's like it's like setting those bigger goals for yourself, that it's like, I would love to attain those, but at the same time, I need to keep my priorities in check.
Yeah. I think your priority lists, at least the way that I'm hearing them, go in order of like what contributes the least to suffering, right? Like, because like you know that you have to take care of your clients, and if not, that will build guilt, and guilt will lead to like fear of losing them, and that, I feel like I'm a Star Wars character, and that will eventually lead to suffering, and like that's what hurts.
I try to, my main focus, my main priority always is the client, like making sure I get client things on time, making sure, because I think with my results, or excuse me, I think with my appointments, they're very result driven, as are a lot of treatments. But I think, and especially in the beauty world, but I feel like some beauty pros have more of a result day of, while my treatments are more so like result driven over a period of time. So in order to maintain the loyalty of the client, we have to make sure we're staying on top of like their results in spa, results at home, what they're using. Ingredients are big to me, like stuff like that. So that's why like I mean, for a lot of people it is, but for clients, obviously they're my number one thing. So I think when you're doing batch work, do like tasks together to help you stay in the flow. If I'm going to choose a day to be more creative, let's say it's on a Tuesday, I'll try to do stuff that makes me feel and sparks that creativity. So like I said, product recommendations on a Tuesday, because I'm looking at ingredients and it's exciting, even though it takes a lot of time. It is, I think it's something more so I dread, not I don't dread it, but like it's something that I'm like, okay, I have to spend a couple hours doing that. But then when I'm in it, doing it, I have so much fun doing it. I think it's like therapy and going to the gym. It's like you dread it, but then when you're there and then you're having the best time, and then it sparks creativity, you feel so good about yourself. It's like one of those things. Using your tools like your scheduling apps, your booking systems, grabbing your tools where you have them and making sure you're actually using them, not putting so much pressure on yourself. Taking those free times of the admin days to learn how to use the tools so that you're actually using them. Because if you're not going to learn how to use them accurately, then it's going to be more of a burden to use it than it is helpful to use it.
What I see most people do is saying that they're using AI, and they're using AI by itself without doing a lot of the learning around it to make it truly work for them. While it can save time, it will also make you more productive if you understand prompt engineering, for instance, which
Yeah.
we're not going to get into today, but learning and getting examples from people in your space around what prompt structures work best for things like captions, for things like service descriptions, understanding what keyword generation and keyword optimization and what you need to provide to AI versus what it can kind of surmise to itself. The lines are pretty distinct. Now, while that's moving all of the time, AI is not a great marketer because it only repeats what's been done before. And if you're different and you're trying to be different and showcase something differently, it is not good at innovating on its own. It's not good at mimicking you without you telling it what makes you you. And if you don't understand that, that's also very hard because it will always sound like AI. The one thing that I also want to caution everybody against when using AI tools is the pure copy and paste. Anything that starts with imagine this or imagine a world where or has a ton of M dashes in it is an immediate red flag for a lot of people, saying, you didn't put any time into this, so why should I pay attention?
Bring back the Oxford comma. Like, I'm sad that they now it's like a big like chat thing. Like, I feel like if I ever use it, I'm like, people are thinking I'm using AI, even though like I've been a fan. I have a mug that says like pro Oxford comma.
I mean, that's been debated for a long period of time. So that one's a less of a telltale for me. It's for me the
The M
overuse of
dashes.
the M dashes, so with the
Yeah,
longer dashes, and overusage of emojis, especially in places where it doesn't make sense.
exactly.
It will help you write all of these things. Start with an idea. It will polish. It's great at polishing. If you're not the last thing before, like if you don't read it and edit before you post, you're doing yourself a disservice. Again, it is great. Can be a great time saver. You don't have to come up with the entire idea or how to say everything exactly, but you do need to have a good start and a good finish. The middle part is what it will take care of. And I want to really push that to a lot of folks on the AI side. Now, on the tooling side, learning about all the bells and whistles of what your booking platform can do for you is a huge unlock. The amount of people that I'm like, so what are you using like your Vagaro membership for, or your Gloss Genius, membership for? Like, are you using this or that? They're like, well, it acts as my website base and it just books clients. I'm like, okay, well, it does automatic reminders. Are you using that? Oh, I didn't think, no, I'm not doing that. Or it's doing
Yes.
automatic follow-ups. Are you doing that? No, I'm not really doing that either. Or,
You're
hey, you could
spending
do Blast. You're spending all the money to
so
have
much
it.
money to have this account. If you don't spend the time researching it to use it to its maximum capacity, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, they are
100%.
constantly evolving too, like just like the beauty industry is. Everything is always constantly evolving. New tools, new information, new things. So like, it would be a fool to not consistently check out your, like, spend one day a month, one Monday out of your admin batch work day on a Monday to just check out, okay, what did Square add within this past month or two? If you want to do it quarterly, that's fine. But
Yeah.
making sure you're staying up to date with these updates so that you can make sure you're actually providing that to your clients, it would take so much of a load off of you at the end of the day.
And 90% of them have videos that they've created so you can watch it on your own time. But then also, if you want to request a demo for the service that you already own, you can. That's the big part. Like, hey, I'm actually already a member. I'm wondering what's new. Can you show me around? Right? That's a great trick. And sometimes they'll be a little bit mad, but they have to talk to you about it. With that, busy season's crazy. Take care of yourself. Time box some time for you to just relax.
Yeah, I give myself off one weekend a month. So since I
Mhm.
work Saturdays and Sundays, yeah, like, am I losing money that Saturday and Sunday? For sure. But am I also like gaining back like who I am as a person to be the best for my clients the rest of the Saturdays and Sundays of the month? Absolutely. So whether that's that Saturday and Sunday I sit at home and read into oblivion, which I typically do, or I
Sure.
spend that weekend traveling or, taking a vacay, it'll look different for everybody, but just making sure you allot that time to really get to know yourself so that you can be the best for your clients.
Filling up your cup is a valuable exercise that needs to be done often.
Mental health
So,
matters.
yeah, especially when you're in this industry because you
Thank
got
you
to
for
deal with
coming
everybody else's.
to our TED Talk.
Yes, this has been our TED Talk. But for real, with that, I think that's going to be it for us for today for the pod. So, Brooke, thank you for sharing your very detailed methodology in terms of how you schedule your week, how you've operated your time management skills so far, what you're doing for the holiday season. I think it's all been really helpful. I learned a lot from what you're doing. I think that's really cool. And hopefully it's been helpful for those that are listening. Very
Yeah,
excited to talk to you next time. But for now, that's it, y'all.
that's it, y'all.